in New Orleans. Just yesterday, there was an arson attack. There's a clinic there known as the Women with a Vision Clinic, and basically they provide services including AIDS prevention help, HIV testing, and substance abuse assistance to sex workers, transgender women, poor women, and women of color. As I mentioned, it was burned to the ground. The clinic no longer has anything. Everything was burned to the ground. According to one of the employees there, she said, "We lost everything. We do not have an office to operate out of right now. Most of our office equipment and all of our educational resources were destroyed. Because of the targeted nature, we can only assume this was intentional."
They saw a man running out of the clinic. It was definitely arson. It was not an accident. That's what it looks like right now. This is clearly domestic terrorism. Imagine a Muslim goes into a church and burns it down. Would that be terrorism? Of course, right? Everybody would say it's terrorism. But when a right-winger goes into a clinic that's there to help women, disadvantaged women, well, nobody even reports it. Terrorism? Forget calling it terrorism. Nobody even gives a damn. We saw this story on Think Progress, give them credit. Mm-hmm. And where else have you seen it? Why isn't this national headlines? Why aren't people, I mean, talking about burning down buildings, domestic freaking, what if there are people inside that building? And you burned it down. What, because you attempted to murder people through your arson, but it didn't work? Then all of a sudden it's not terrorism? Well, then the Christmas Day bomber, well, he had the underwear bomb, but it didn't go off, so what, that doesn't count? The guy who was going to do the bombing in Times Square, terrorist, terrorist, terrorist. But wait a minute, the bomb didn't even go off. In this case, we actually had a fire, right?
Yeah.
And it burned the whole place down. But no. If it's right wing, shush, that doesn't count. Terrorism is only if the right wing is against it and it's done by Muslims. If white people are doing it, right wingers are doing it, Republicans are doing it, well then don't even talk about it, let alone call it terrorism.
Right, completely ignore it. And by the way, spare me any of your bullshit concerns about human life. Because if you're concerned about human life whatsoever, you would be concerned about the needy women who have to go to these clinics to get their reproductive health, to get their cancer screenings, their HIV screenings. You don't care about life at all. You're just a moron who listens to what Fox News spews and you just believe it and go off and do violent things like this. And how many times have we done these stories about these clinics being firebombed, being put on fire? It's ridiculous. No one's talking about it and it continues to happen, and O'Reilly is part of the problem by having a moron like Lila Rose on his program. I'm sorry, I'm just sick of this shit. Because people are being hurt by it, disadvantaged women are being affected by it, and nothing is happening.
Yeah, and of course we take away resources from fighting these issues because the right wing also scared everybody, including most importantly in this case the Obama administration, into saying, hey, you should devote 25 agents to domestic Muslim terrorism and only 1 agent to right-wing terrorism, when in fact we've shown that right-wing terrorism in the country is a larger problem. But it's 25-1, disproportionate. Why? Because Fox News might get angry if you focus on right-wing terrorism. And that's just, you can't have it. So you got to backpedal out of it.